Evil people don't change. It's extremely difficult for a good person to change that is unconscious, let alone an evil person that is conscious that refuses to change. And I just want to say that evil people, like in the general population, they don't exist. They don't exist. Like, the only place that you're gonna find evil people is in the ghetto where they sell a massive amount of drugs coming out of this one house, and the mom and the dad speak nothing but foul language, and the kids are, saying bad words at the age of 2. At the age of 2, they're saying bad language. They're saying bad words. You know, eating nothing but candy, whatever they want. You know, evil people, they don't exist. You don't see them in the general population. You don't see the kids 2, 3 years old saying bad words. You don't hear that. You don't see it, but it exists. It exists, and there's a lot of them. And that's what I wanted to say. That supposedly these evil people, they don't exist, and like, uh, I've gotten to know a few of them. You know, their lifestyle, the way they live, their how would you say it? Their TV shows of of ignorance and foul language, and of freaking females in like mini skirts live. Well, not live, but on TV. You know, making stupid jokes and acting like this and acting like that, and I know their lifestyle on how these people live, on how they carry cups. They carry cups full of ice and they spill it on themselves on their t shirt and they throw that t shirt away. Like it's stained. And so, how do you get, like, I've had, these evil people, like, I know they're evil. Like, I know they're evil, but they, like, how would you say it? They try to dissimulate. They try to, you know, uh, they try to pass by as if they're normal people when they're not, you know. And I've had a couple of them insinuate that I have to help them. Like, what are you doing? You're insinuating that I have to help you, but you'll never change because you're evil. And they're trying to play the victim. I've had people do that to me. And like I said, it's extremely difficult for a good person that is unconscious to change. It's hard, let alone a evil person that is conscious and refuses to change and is just there, like insinuating, you need to help me. You know, People, they use karma. They use karma as secondary. Like, if you don't help me, karma is gonna come for you. No, every person it depends on themselves. If you're codependent, you're basically fucked. You can never be codependent upon anybody. You have to be independent. And like I was saying, like these evil people, they don't change. There's nothing you could do to them. There's nothing you can say to them that will convince them to change. And like I said, these evil people, they're hiding. They're hiding. What I'm saying? They exist, you know, and there's a lot more of them than you were to think. A lot more of them. And I just wanted to say that these evil people, you can't pay attention to them. You can't give them any thought whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? You have to leave them there. You know, you have to leave them there. You know, you can't give them any input. You can't pay attention to them. You can't help them. You can't do nothing to them. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna try their best to convince you of this, and they're gonna try their best to beat you up time and again. The same people. Try to get you to be like them. And when you reject them, they'll change things. They'll do things so that you become isolated, so that you become vulnerable, so that you look for that dependency. And like I said, they'll never change. They're gonna be the same way. They'll die being that way. You know what I'm saying? Refuse. I've seen it inside the hospitals, you know, where evil people they show their true colors.